Hi, my name is Sam and today I would like to show you how to access data from the 2020 Decennial Census Detailed Demographic and Housing Characteristics File B, or Detailed DHC-B, using the Census Data Application Programming Interface, or API. The detailed DHC-B provides statistics on household type and tenure for detailed racial and ethnic groups and American Indian and Alaska Native tribes and villages. There are different reasons for why you would choose to use the Census Data API to get your data. Some of our data users find that the Census Data API is the best way to get data when they need a large amount of it, while others find it's the best way to get data that they plan to use in applications they create. I happen to need tenure data for an application. I want to find this data for Laramie County, Wyoming on the population who reported their ethnicity as Spaniard. I'm familiar enough with what's available from the detailed DHC-B to know that there are 6 tables associated with it. The first one, T03001, provides the total number of households. The 3 subsequent tables also provide data on household type. The difference between these tables is the number of household type categories provided. In addition to the total number of households provided in each of these tables, T03002 provides 2 categories for household type. T03003 provides 6 categories for household type, and T03004 provides 8 categories for household type. Then, table T04001, which looks at tenure, provides the total number of occupied housing units. The last table, T04002, provides the same total as well as 3 additional tenure categories. The amount of data that you receive is based on the size of the population group you are looking at and the size of the geography. When using data from the detailed DHC-B, we recommend that you view our video that explains how the amount of data that you receive is determined. This video can be found at the link below. To help me in figuring out the table that I can use to find all available tenure data, I went into data.census.gov earlier. I found that table T04002 is available. Let's look at the API so I can show you how to use it to get the data for this table. Using your web browser, go to census.gov. Under the Data and Maps heading, click on Developers. Under the Developers heading, click on the link to the Discovery tool. Then click on the format that you'd like to view the Discovery tool in. For this, click on the HTML version. The Discovery tool houses all the different datasets found in the API. To locate the 2020 detailed DHC-B, click on Ctrl and F and type Detailed Demographic and Housing Characteristics File B into the search bar that appears. The dataset you want is the one labeled as Decennial Census Detailed Demographic and Housing Characteristics File B. To isolate the information for this dataset so you don't have to worry about the other datasets found on this page, click on the API base URL found in the last column and add .html to the end of it. Hit enter and you'll see that you now just have the API information for the detailed DHC-B. You first want to confirm that you'll be able to pull data from the table in its entirety. When you pull data for an entire table, it's referred to as making a group call. To confirm that the table we need is available for group calls, right-click on the Groups link and choose Open Link in New tab. I can see that table T04002 is available for group calls, so now that this is confirmed, I can close this tab. Returning to the information page where I initially selected the Groups link, the next step is to find the variable that will allow me to choose data for the Spaniard population. To get the full list of variables, right-click on the Variables link and choose Open Link in New tab. The variable we need is near the top of the list. It's called popgroup. Let's take note of the variable name as well as its related label variable, popgroup_label. Now that I have the population group variables that I need, my next step is to look at the list of example queries that are available. To get to that, return to the information page, right-click on the Examples link, and choose Open Link in New tab. Here you can find example links for all the geographies that are available with the detailed DHC-B. For this example, I want to get data for Laramie County in Wyoming. Since this would be county-level data, I want to focus on the queries found for geography level or summary level 050. The &4 portion of the query dictates the geography. The first two queries give you data for every county in the US. You can tell that they are going to give you this because they use the wildcard, which is represented by an asterisk. The difference between the two is that the second one spells it out for all counties in all states. The second one is handy because you could change the asterisk following the state colon portion of the query to the 2-digit Federal Information Processing System or FIPS code that is associated with each state in the US. The last query gives data for a single county in a given state. The 06 used in this query indicates that it's for California, and the 037 used indicates that it's for Los Angeles County. Since I want data just for Laramie County, and I know that the second one could be modified to get data for a single state, I'm going to use that one. Right-click on the second query and choose Open Link in New tab. When it opens, you'll see that it is listing out all the counties in the US, which is the first portion of each line labeled as name. This is followed by their respective FIPS code, which is the second portion of each line labeled as state, and the respective county code, which is the third portion of each line labeled as county. These codes are especially useful at the moment because I don't know off the top of my head what the state code is for Wyoming, nor the county code for Laramie County. We can use what's here, though, to figure it out. Click on Control and F and enter Laramie into the search box. When the match comes up, we can see that the FIPS code for Wyoming is 56 and the code for Laramie County is 021. What's really nice is, as I mentioned earlier, now that we know what the codes are that we need, we can easily adjust the query to narrow things down. Navigate to the query and replace the asterisk after state colon with 56. Replace the asterisk after county colon with 021. Then hit enter. This isolates the line of output down to just Laramie County, so that's the only thing you see. Now let's look for the population group codes for the Spaniard population group. To get the full list of available population groups and their respective codes, right after name in the URL, type comma popgroup, comma popgroup_ label. Be sure to include commas to separate each variable, but do not include any spaces. Once you do this, hit enter to run this new query. Now we can see the list of all the different population groups and their respective codes. Click on Control and F and type Spaniard into the text box. The population group codes changed from being 3 digits to 4 digits for the 2020 census, so we want to make sure that we take note of the 4-digit code. When we get to the match for Spaniard that has a 4-digit code, we can see that the population group code is 4041, so let's make note of that. Let's add this code to our query. Delete popgroup, comma, from its current position in the URL. Now, after popgroup label, type &popgroup equals 4041. Hit enter to run this new query. Now we have a single line of data for the Spaniard population in Laramie County. Our last step is to add in the table. Right after the get equals portion of the URL, remove name, comma, popgroup_ label, and replace it with group, open parentheses, T04002, close parentheses. Then hit enter. You'll receive data back for the requested table for the Spaniard population. Let's review this line of output. The first portion is geo_ID, which is the unique geographic identifier for the given geography. The next portion is the name of the geography, Laramie County, Wyoming. This is followed by popgroup and popgroup_ label, which tell us both the numeric population group code and the written name of the population group we are looking at. For this line, we are looking at Spaniard, which has a code of 4041. Next are the individual counts that make up table T04002. If you want to find out what each variable is, visit the variables page. Next is the pop group code again, followed by the state FIPS code, which in this case is 56 for Wyoming. And the last is the county code for Laramie County, 021. I hope this tutorial has helped in learning how to use the Census Data API to make a group call to get data for detailed racial and ethnic groups and American Indian and Alaska Native tribes and villages from the 2020 Detailed Demographic and Housing Characteristics File B. For more guidance on using the Census Data API, please visit our resources page at the link below. Thank you.